The philosophy of the Adwaitha is not only explained in a single way as a droplet of a ocean, as a Ekan Anekan principle, as is slightly varying from the opinion initially obtained in the form of a light shine through various mirrors. Let us first examine how it was revealed as a Arutperum jyothi and Thanipperungurani. A common light, a flame, is reflected in various mirrors, whether the mirror is a small or a big, and when it is put before the light, the original light reflected in the mirror and the light are one and the same. Of course, it may appear like a different one. Once the mirror is removed from the original light focus, it may disappear as it was appearing earlier, which was not true or true in the same way. When it is disappear also, it is true or not true. But therefore, it is to be concluded that it is derived only from the original light reflected and now disappeared. So also the body begotten as a Atma from the Paramatma will stay for a while like a mirror and will disappear. Only the mirror will go away, but the light came and shined for some time as a reflection in the mirror and thereafter disappeared. Where it went? It went back to the light as it came from the light. Whether it goes back or it came from is not known, but a reflection is revealed when a mirror is projected and it is on focus. When it is not on focus, it is out of reflection. Therefore, the begotten body gets the Atma from the Paramatma and loses the Atma and goes back to Paramatma. And when the body is ruined or destroyed or eliminated, or it goes back to nature. Every body consisting of Panchabhuta, the water, the earth, the air, the fire and the sky, so-called space. The Panchabhuta Tattva in the space is not a separate one. When it is not occupied by a light, that is fire, or by air, or by the earth, or by the water, the unoccupied portion you call it as a space. Therefore, the Paramatma comes into the form of a human body and shines as Atma when it is reflected on a mirror from the original light. So also, every human body having a light as a Atmajnana, Atma flame, reflecting from the original light. And when the body is ruined, destroyed or goes back to nature, the body is obtained from the mother's womb when delivered, wherefrom it has come, from the womb of a woman. But when it goes back, when it is destroyed, either it is buried or burnt in the flame, light, or the particles are destroyed in the earth or in the water, dissolved. It goes back to nature. It came from the nature and it goes back to nature. The child is created with the semen and the serum, which is from the original food taken by the father or the mother as the parents. They each other in cohesion, joining, makes the potential for the creation of a body through the semen derived from the male and serum from the female, joining together, it forms. There again, the food we consume, either as a fruit, or as a stem, or as a leaf, or as a plant, or as a water, or as another animal killed, eaten as a food. But however, the food taken, get digested, and blood and the semen or serum is formed in the men or woman. Thereby, the product gets conceived with each other and a child is created and human body is delivered through the woman. No man can deliver, only the woman can deliver. Therefore, we call it as Shakti. It can be possible only through a woman, the delivery can be made. Therefore, Shakti. Shiva is silent. Nobody knows who is the father. In fact, in all reality, unless it is revealed by the woman who had the coercion with the men of his choice, or what happened in reality. Therefore, the silence, the unknown, the unrevealable, the hidden, but the truth is the significance of the semen of the father, and the serum of the woman is get conceived and convinced to deliver, which in fact, in the past in our Indian culture, we were not using the initials of the mother, only the initials of the father. There is no need to put the initial of a mother because which is well known who has delivered the child is only the mother. But the hidden part is who is the father. That is why the mother has to say who is the father, therefore his initial was put. Of course, in the course of discussion we are revealing it, but it is not significant as it was originally in the form of convincing the statement of a light reflected in the mirror is the Atma and the original light is Paramatma. Therefore, this inversely cannot be derived. A light reflected in the mirror cannot be a choice for becoming a light of original. But the light of original will ever shining and everlasting, all pervading and omniscient and omnipotent, which will be reflecting through years in various forms as it is reflecting in the glasses in the form of human. We do not know the number of persons born in the past. As on date, we are having 830 crores of people in the world. And how many crores of people going to take birth and going to die? So far, the number of persons died, should have been born and died. And persons already born still may be existing and going to die later. And thereafter, they are going to buy and they are going to take birth and then die. It will be a sequence. Unendingly, it is happening. When it started, when it is going to end, it is not known. Adimum antamum illa. Arutperum jyothi. That is why the original light which is reflected in the body is portrayed as the human bodies, which is in crores and crores and crores, which is not known. That is why the number of skulls burnt or buried, which had the reflective power of the divine power as the Paramatma in Atma, is formed, and it is portrayed as a Kabali who was having number of skulls on his shoulder as a mala. It is generally believed that 600 Brahmas are born to find a avatar of Mahavishnu, and such Mahavishnus are born in 1,000 times. Thereafter, on the completion of 1,000th birth of the Mahavishnu, it is possible to know whether there is a pralaya necessary or not. The closing of the eyes or opening the eyes of the Lord Shiva is considered as the timings of the different statures of the different universal potential power as it is revealed in the form of Paramatma in research they are studied. Therefore, 600 Brahmas are necessary to find one Mahavishnu. 1,000 Mahavishnus are necessary to find out whether the eyes is closed or eyes is opened of Lord Shiva. Therefore, you can see the stature, the time frame, and the marvels of Lord Ishvara. That is called as unending, everlasting, eternal bliss as a light form, as Arutperum jyothi, Thanipperum karunai, which has got the power to make everyone be happy, make everyone potential, make everyone successful, make everyone to do any kind of activities of their choice. The divine power Atma likes to get carried on through various activities, thousands of activities, through the thousands and crores of men and women, either in the form of an animal or in the form of a plant or in the form of a birds, besides the human form. Therefore, the Ekan Paramatma shines in the Anekan Tattva of various individuals, creatures, either as a human or as a bird or as an animal or as a plant, in any manner, as the original divine desires are required to be played. Therefore, Adal Arasan, the Adi, Antam Illa, Arutperum jyothi, in the form of a cosmic dancer, is explained vividly but so secretly. Therefore, it is very difficult to understand the principles of Atma not only in the form of a droplet of a ocean, but also Arutperum jyothi, Thanipperum Garade, as Atma prevailing in every individuals, for the time being unmanifest before birth, manifest after birth, again unmanifest after death, as it is revealed in the Bhagavad Gita, very nicely, well explained as the Sukshama of Atma, which is not manifesting. The soul is not known in the body. It is unknown soul, but it comes into the being and it shines through the body. There again, where it goes, it is not known once the body is burnt or buried. So, unmanifest before birth, manifest during the life, and again, unmanifest after death. So also the reflection of the flame, the Paramatma in the mirror. The mirror is portrayed as the body of the human, or birds, or animals, or plants, or anything, or any creatures and creatures. Therefore, it should be understood that Adi Shankara not only attempted to say a droplet of water, but in the Nalvar, Manika Vasagar very clearly says, Adiyum Antamum Illa Arutperum jyothi Yam Pada Ketteyum. Therefore, Kedil Param Karunai, Kedil Param jyothi, as it is revealed in the Tiruvasakam, it is a portrayal of the different way of the Atma and Paramatma Tattva as Adwaitha Siddhanta. Therefore, it is necessary to understand the Advaita in a clear term, either as a reflective power of the original light on mirror for the time being, as the human body gets unmanifest before birth, manifested during the life, and unmanifest after death. So also the Atma appears and disappears. And the originality of the Atma and Paramatma revealed and coming from the original light goes back to the light is understandable or not. That's a different issue. Therefore, let us pray God again to reach a conclusion as Adi Shankara rightly concluded. A droplet of a ocean is well understood, rather than the reflective power of the original flame on the mirror. Thank you very much.